Warning: this story contains artistic depictions of sexual conduct. All characters in this story are over the age of 18. Any similarities to real people, living or dead, are coincidental. Alright, when we left off, Robin was just getting ready to head to Whitby with his family for a little outing and to rebond with them. After the car was pretty much ready to go and all that, he felt something rub against his leg, and it was a cat, a black cat. I'm guessing Belle. I don't understand what else it could be, but what do I know? We're going to find out. I know right away it isn't Belle. Belle's eyes were far greener than that. So it's another cat, black cat with green eyes? But the cat still catches me off guard. It feels like an omen, a portent of misfortune. Robin, what are you doing? I jumped guiltily, although I don't know why I feel guilty. I'm not doing anything wrong. Oh, nothing. I just got a little waylaid, that's all. Waylaid? I start to panic. Why am I panicking? There's nothing suspicious about being nuzzled by a cat, is there? Oh, I see you've made a friend. How cute. Yeah, I guess. I'm pretty popular. Real ladies, man. I've seen a black cat a lot like this one hanging around the neighborhood lately. Oh, you have? It was the most peculiar thing. Such bright green eyes. You don't say. That would explain why Belle seems to know almost everything about me. Does she slink around my front garden often, trying to peer into our windows? The thought is unsettling. I haven't seen the cat with bright green eyes for a while now, though. I think she was a stray. Didn't have a collar. I bet she was abandoned, the poor thing. Sally sighs. People really are horrible. They think a cat is something for Christmas but can't commit to them for life. I feel sorry for her. If only you knew, Sal. If Sally hates people who can't commit to keeping a pet, I'd hate to know what she'd think about me. I can't even commit to my own wife. But I don't tell Sally this. I can't. There's just no way. She'd think I'd lost my mind. For a brief few moments, I wonder if I have. The drive to Whitby is far or more or less uneventful. Melly sits in the back seat of the car, curled up on herself with her head against the window, but she doesn't say anything. I didn't expect her to. I can see her face in the rearview mirror every once in a while. She's plugged into her MP3 player, the tiny buds crammed into her ears, leaving not a single cranny for extraneous noise to filter in from the outside world. She's listening to her music, whatever it is, at such a high volume, I can hear it just faintly in the front of the car. Wonder what kind of music Melly likes. I don't know because I've never asked her. There's so much about my own daughter I don't know. I sigh, tapping my fingers against the steering wheel. At least we're all together. Sally, Melly, and me. We sit underneath the same roof, brought together inside this tiny tin can of a car. That has to count for something, right? I'll make it count for something. We're going on a family trip. Today isn't about me, it's about my daughter. I don't want to be selfish anymore. Hey, maybe the weather will be nice after all. I try to engage Sally in light conversation, peering out through the front window of the road, at the road. Everything looks slightly discolored through the glass. It makes the motorway look even grayer than usual. Kinda depressing. At least the sun is shining. The sun has never seemed to fit to make an entrance during our previous outings at Whitby. Maybe it was struck down with stage fright. I wonder if this is a good sign. An omen. Not that I believe in omens. I didn't, at least, until I met Belle. Sally, however, doesn't seem to share my optimism. Instead, she crosses one leg over the other, her eyes narrowed. Just you wait, Robin. We'll need these umbrellas soon enough. Right. We'll see about that. I'll bet you 10 pounds, Sally Pally. Alright, you're on. Let's see who's right. And smiling smugly to herself, Sally leans back into her seat and stares out the window. Oh no. It's raining. Damn you, Whitby. By the way, Robin. Yes? You owe me 10 pounds. Alright. Don't sound so pleased with yourself. Did you want it to start raining? I didn't, but I had a feeling it might. It rained every other time we came. I didn't see a reason for it to change now. So you were going by past experience, were you? Yes, that and the fact that it clearly said it was going to rain on the news this morning. I take a step backward as though wounded, my eyes comically wide. You mean you were cheating this whole time? I wouldn't call it cheating. It's more like using whatever resources you have at hand to ensure your victory. You can use however many pretty words you want, Sally Pally, but it sounds like you're cheating to me. They'd throw you out of Vegas on the spot for sure. Sally only smiles, nudging me in the side with her elbow. It's a good thing we aren't in Vegas then, isn't it? Oh, you're evil. Practically the devil incarnate. And isn't that why you married me? Maybe it was. I have always been something of a masochist, I'll admit. Any child who willingly dedicates hours upon hours to playing Fur Elise in their grandfather's dusty old study must have some masochistic tendencies tucked away somewhere. It's just not possible to focus on such a grueling task without a touch of masochism, particularly when making music is not that rewarding. Not instantly, at least. You have to work on it. Kind of like marriage. I wonder if the wedding band on my finger is another strike against me. The three of us, Sally, Melly, and I, are trampling dutifully around the ruined Whitby Abbey, located high up on its hill. As Sally predicted, the rain still hasn't let up. It isn't particularly strong rain, more like a light, ever-present mist, but it's enough to make me shiver all the same. Thank goodness Sally had the foresight to pack those umbrellas, otherwise we'd look like a family of drowned rats. Given the rain, Whitby Abbey is devoid of tourists. I suppose most people don't fancy wandering around a bunch of old ruins, even if they are very, very old ruins, when there's a chance they might get wet. I don't really mind. It makes everything seem more private, and I'm very much on that too. It's very much so. This abbey has a long history. Apparently it's where Bram Stoker came to draw his inspiration for Dracula. I wonder. I turn, examining the stone walls and vaulted arches that seem to grow out of the muddy ground. Without a roof, the abbey doesn't look like a real building. I could just as well be in the ruins of Atlantis. It's wet enough. Stranded on this hill, pelted by rain, will I also have an encounter with a pale-skinned, blood-sucking monster? A few days ago, I would have shaken my head at the foolish fancy and snorted at my own self-indulgence. Now, however, it doesn't seem too far beyond the realm of possibility. I've already met Belle, and she's about as vampy as they come, minus the sharp incisors, of course. The wind is beginning to pick up. It whips at my umbrella in my hand, threatening to blow it inside out. I hate it when that happens. It's so embarrassing, particularly when other people start to stare at you on the street, as though it never happened to them. Fortunately, Melly, Sally, and I are the only ones here. If I fail to control my windy umbrella, grappling it as a bullfighter might attempt to avoid the horns of a distant bull, nobody else will be around to see me fall into the line of duty. I think I might have mixed my similes up a little there. Well, I'm not a translator like Sally. I'm just a music teacher. Speaking of Melly, I'm not sure where she is. I think she went off on her own to explore the ruins. I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but I swear she was smiling. That, at least, was comforting. Hey, Robin. I was so ensconced in my thoughts I almost forgot Sally was there. Maybe because of the hill. High places do that to me. They draw me into my own personal little reverie, and I start to blank everything else out. What is it, Sal? Not really a fan of all this rain. I think I might go to Green's. The tea shop? Of course I mean the tea shop. Where else would I mean? Fair point. Three of us have always been coming here as a family trip for years and years now. I know Green's almost as well as I know the back of my own hand. When I say it, that cliche means something. Most people don't spend all that much time examining their hands, but most people aren't pianists like me. If you play the piano, you get into the habit of paying more attention to your hands than other people. They're kind of an important component of your craft. I haven't played the piano much lately though, not properly. In any case, Green's is a humble little cafe only a short walk from the Abbey, at the base of the sloping hill by the river. The interior decor is mainly comprised of wood, and it has that comforting, homey smell that seems strangely absent from chains like Starbucks or Costa. Though I like Green's, I find myself frowning regardless. I thought this was meant to be a family trip. It is a family trip, but more than that, wasn't it supposed to be a Robin and Melly bonding exercise? I open my mouth, I close it again. I can't argue with that. Sally's right. Unfortunately, it seems the two of you haven't done all that much talking. Maybe not, but at least we're within a mile radius of each other. That's saying something. That may be, but you haven't said anything to her yet, have you? I rub the back of my neck. You sure say it like it is, Sal. That's because I'm a realist. I see things how they truly are. I don't get lost in daydreams like you, Robin. And again, she has another point. Sally's always been made of stronger stuff than me, though she does so often favors more soft pastel-colored shirts. Anyways, I think you and Melly need some alone time. Try to talk to her a little. Ask her some questions. I think she'll appreciate it. I can hardly tell Sally that the thought of interacting with my own daughter fills me with dread. My stomach feels cold, like I just swallowed a mouthful of dirty water from the bottom of a well. I gulp. Well, we all need to face up to our fears eventually. I know deep down that I'm scared of isn't Melly. Not really. It's disappointing her. No man wants to be a disappointment to their only child. In my own enduring cowardice, I must have decided this distance was better. I was wrong, of course, and I often am. Right, you're right, Sally. I'll try to talk to her. And we couldn't have picked a more miserable day to do it. That's just me, though. I don't like the rain, but I think Melly does. Maybe that's because when it rains, fewer people go outside. It might be hard to try to talk to Melly now, though. She isn't here. I lent her my key a couple of minutes ago. She left something in the car. Maybe her umbrella? Good. I know it might be hard, but taking the first step is important. Ha 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 ha. I laugh awkwardly, rubbing the back of my neck with one hand. I didn't tell her, but Sally still knew what I was thinking. I wonder how. Women's intuition? Mars and Venus aligning somewhere up there in space? Or maybe it's something softer, quieter, rather more understated than that. She knows how I feel because she cares about me. She loves me. Sometimes I do wonder, but nobody understands me like Sally does. Sally Pally. Now, Sally holds her hand out, the palm facing heavenwards. About that 10 pounds you owe me. I laugh at her audacity. I can't help myself. You're so ruthless. Forget being a translator. You should be a lawyer. No, thank you. I'd feel guilty extorting too guilty extorting other people, but not her own husband. See, as if he read my mind. But you have no qualms about extorting your own husband. That's different. You vowed that you would always love me, come hell or high water. Doesn't stop most of those celebrities you read about in those gossip magazines. It doesn't stop most of the kids' parents at school either. Surely doesn't stop Arabella Wait. Wow, still going on about her. Yes, well, you just tried to divorce me, Robin. Hell hath no fury, you know. I know, I know. With a small smile, I take my wallet out of my pocket and hand the money over to Sally. Here you go. Don't spend it all at once. Thank you kindly. Sally takes the money out of my hand and slips the slightly crumpled 10-pound note into her back pocket. I watch, framed by the ruins of Whitby Abbey, as Sally walks down the hill, her blonde bun pinned to the top of her head, bouncing with every step she takes. Even after all these years, she's still the same old Sally I married. My Sally Pally. I shake my head, sighing. Guilt creeps up on me. An almost palatable thing is cold, cold hands that make me shiver. What on earth am I doing to Sally? To Melly? This needs to stop. I need to stop it all now. What started out as an innocent distraction has gone too far, and I'm starting to get scared. I must be scared, otherwise I wouldn't be shaking like this. So she's finally gone, thank God. I thought she was never going to leave. I feel those familiar hands, no longer a figment of my imagination, but questionably unabashedly real, loop around my back. The touch sends shards of ice shooting through my blood, chilling it more efficiently than cold water ever could. Belle. I don't turn around. I stand there, staring out at the roofs of the houses spread beneath me like a blanket. Is it just my imagination? As the wind started to pick up again, it feels even colder than it did before. So you came back. Of course I did. I said that, wouldn't I? Didn't I? I'm always with you, wherever you go. That's odd. I thought cats didn't like the rain. I don't. That's why I'm not going to stay here long. It makes my hair frizz. I would hate for royalty like you to ruin your hair over a peasant like me. Perhaps you should take your leave. Are you telling me to go, Robin? I might be. It might be easier that way. Sure, it might be easier, but I'm not going to do what you want just because it makes all things easier. That's a terrible way to talk to a woman, Robin, particularly a woman who's in love with you. Now look here. I break free from Belle's icy cold grasp and inhale the cool, rain-splattered air greedily. There's something about Belle's presence, even when I can't see her face, that's so overwhelming it's hard for me to think straight. Being embraced by her white, skinny arms feels like sinking slowly into the bottom of a dark, black sea. It's suffocating. Spine-chilling, even. If this were a Hammer House of Horror Productions, which it isn't. Thank heaven for small mercies. Belle stands there looking much the same as ever. She's forgone her school uniform today. I suppose that makes sense given it's a Saturday, and instead wears a dark coat. The coat looks familiar for some reason, but I can't place it. So does the umbrella she's holding, shielding her hair from the rain. The umbrella is pretty cute, now that I look at it a little bit closer. It's black emblazoned with a pattern of repeating white rectangles. Is it fashioned after a piano? I bought Millie an umbrella like that long time ago, back when I first started teaching her how to play. I don't think she ever used it, though. I don't know if I blame her. It was presumptuous of me, just like her name. I think you're the one who needs to look here, Robin. Belle's eyes are just as green as ever. So bright they pierce through the gloom. In the darkness they almost seem to glow. This can't work out anymore, Robin. You know it can't. Well, what do you mean? You can't play at being a good husband and a father whilst being my... I hate that red mouse button. You can't play at being a good husband and a father whilst being my beloved at the same time. But beloved? Do you really need to question that? I already told you that I love you. You did, but I don't know. Maybe you were just playing around or something. Playing around? Belle raises one eyebrow. Gone are her mischievous smiles, her light-hearted laughter. I kind of miss it. I don't like this new Belle. Serious and intense with those huge green eyes that refuse to blink no matter how long I stare into them. That's so sad. Even though I explained my feelings to you, you still don't understand. You don't understand at all. I've always been rather dense. Sally was the one who asked me out first. She was chasing after me for weeks and I didn't realize. Like I care about Sally, like you care. Stop trying to fool yourself. But she's my wife. So what? That doesn't mean anything. Why should you care about your wife when you have me? But I've known Sally for almost 18 years. This is taking a dark turn really quickly. And you've known me for 30. I gotta pause for a second because I'm here just trying to wrap myself around what's transpiring here. Yeah, that isn't the same Belle. This is a very different Belle than we're used to. No, it isn't. It's the same because she doesn't love you the way I love you. She can only love you as a human woman can, complaining and insulting and always finding faults. People are always like that. They're so concerned with their own shortcomings that they pick on one another to make themselves feel better. It's not real happiness though, no matter what they tell themselves. It's all fake, hollow and empty. People are all hollow and empty. I'm not like that. I love you for who you are. I've loved you from the moment I met you. I gasp. All of a sudden, I feel a sensation against my neck. It's warm despite the cold wind that laces through my skin, my very bloodstream. Belle is standing behind me. I can feel her chest pressed against my back. Her body flush against mine like two pieces of a puzzle slotted together. Gone is her umbrella. I see it out of the corner of my eye, laying, discarded, on the ground. It's a shame. I like that umbrella. It's just like the one I got Melly. It's hard to talk. Hard to even think. There are lips against my chin, my collarbone, trailing down my neck. Belle is pressing kisses against my skin fervently, hungrily, as though trying to calm every bit of my body for her own. I feel like a heroine in a horror story, like poor Lucy Westerna, who had her blood drained by Bram Stoker's mysterious count. I was right. I don't need a vampire. I already have a demon of my very own, who's doing her hardest to drag me down into her own hell. The burning kisses combined with the icy rain make me tremble. My knees feel weak. I can hardly stand. It feels good. I'm sickened with myself that it feels so good, but it does, and I can't help it. It's hard to breathe. I can taste the rain on my tongue. All of a sudden I recall what happened years and years ago when I was trying to tread water in Great Aunt Clarice's lake, even though my head kept bobbing under and I couldn't feel my fingertips anymore. I'm drowning again. I almost gave my life for Belle 30 years ago. Now she's coming back to finish the job. I told you before, Robin. Belle draws her lips away from my neck, her fingers digging into my shoulders. I feel her breath against my bruised skin, sticky with saliva and falling rain, and it makes me tremble all the more. I'm a selfish girl. I don't like sharing. Another kiss. I'm the most selfish girl who ever lived, and who ever shall live. I can't stand watching you and your wife together like that, both of you smiling. It turns my stomach. It makes me want to kill her. Here we go. But Beppo, I wish I could reply with something, anything, but I can't. It's not possible. The words die in my throat, lost against the sound of wind and rain and the soft sucking noises of Belle's lip against my neck. I wonder if this will leave a bruise. Now how the hell will I explain this to Sally? Maybe I could yell her Count Dracula got me. The real one, not Bella Lugosi, who is dead after all. That would probably be more believable than the truth. Please, Robin. Belle nips at my flesh with her teeth. Make up your mind. You need to choose between the two of us. It's rude to string two women along like this, but if you're not careful, you'll break my heart. But why? Why now all of a sudden? I don't know. Maybe it's because I kissed you yesterday. It made me realize something. What exactly? That I'm tired of waiting around for you. I waited more than 30 years just so we could talk. Give a girl a break. I'm going crazy here. You're going crazy? I laugh. Excuse me. I laugh, though it sounds more like a choked gasp than anything. What do you think you're doing to me? Well, I wonder. Belle giggles, her voice light and sing-song, and presses yet another kiss to my neck. I turn, shaking. My body is far too heavy. It's hard for me to move. It doesn't do what I want it to do. I swear this isn't my fault. She was the one who came onto me. Yeah, right. Like that excuse will ever hold up in court. There's no good reason for it, too. That's because most people don't know about spirits or demons, or whatever Belle actually is. I'd look like a deluded freak if I tried to explain this in any rational way. There's no rational explanation to give. My breath is ragged, my chest rises and falls, but no matter how hard I inhale, I can't get enough oxygen to my brain. My skin is still prickling. So please, make up your mind soon, Robin, but remember. Belle tilts her head to one side and smiles, her black hair catching in the breeze. Hell hath no fury. My heart constricts in my chest. All of a sudden I feel like I'm going to vomit. What on earth have I done? You let one demonic cat girl into your life and suddenly everything starts to fall apart. Well, bye-bye, Robin. See you again soon. And with that farewell, which sounds rather more ominous than lilting tone would give her to suggest, Belle turns on her heels and walks away. I watch as she departs, staring for some reason at the umbrella clenched firmly in her hand. How strange.